Hello and welcome everyone to this wonderful series, which is called Reflections, where we listen to various stories that recharge and rejuvenate us. And today we have a wonderful speaker all the way from Colombia, Marcelo Bulk. He is a Brazilian coach, business consultant, and author living in Bogota, capital of Colombia, South America. He has been a volunteer and meditator for more than 40 years. He has authored a book in Spanish and Portuguese on self leadership. And personally, as I know him, a very humble and a honest soul with a lot of qualities and virtues. And the story that he would be sharing with us today is titled How to Flow with Life. And as he says, that life can be an ocean of various things. And if you're a good surfer or swimmer, you may experience happiness even when there are adversities. And Marcelo today is going to share with us a challenge that he faced at work. So let's see how did he swim through it and what did he experience. So a very hearty welcome to the program, Marcelo, and we would love to hear your story. So welcome once again, and it's over to you, please.
Thank you, Lata. Thank you for the invitation. And it's nice to be with everyone. When I was a very small child, I used to go to the beach every holiday. I used to stay 2 months there during my school vacation. And I used to love to be there. It was very nice. But of course, I couldn't go too deep into the ocean because I was very small. Then I remember once that my mother, she didn't know how to swim. And still she went there and she was floating there. And I didn't realize, just a child, I was playing in the beach. And then when I saw her, she was so far. I cried for her. And then she realized she was very out there and she got a little desperate. She started to move her hands and arms and everything. Even so, she was a very good floater. She could keep on floating and just maybe yell help something, but she lost her temper at that moment. Finally, nothing bad happened to her, but it was a lesson that came and it stayed with me. A few years ago, I was going through a very, very bad patch in terms of work. It was not nice. I am an independent consultant. That means I am eternally unemployed. so, so, but but when you are unemployed, you really, really need that little job. You need that little thing, that project. And it was really hard. 2 years, they were very, very hard to me. Then one day, I got a very wonderful job, a very wonderful project. It was in a neighbor country, Peru. It was with miners there. Peru is a mining country. And it was very good. The payment was quite okay. And I would spend like 15 days there. I would stay a little bit more. It was nice. Everything was ready. And maybe I was a little anxious because I remember I had everything packed there. Days before my trip, I had a ticket, I had everything. Then the manager, called me. He's a friend, he and his wife, and he called me to say that the project was postponed. You know the problem. The thing is, when you live in the ocean, you are always synchronizing things. You you realize that life is not sequential, as sometimes we are learned, we have been taught to consider life. That means something will happen now, and then from that you get this, from that you get this, from that you get this. No, when you are in the ocean, there is no sequence. It's just stuff happens, things happen. So you have to swim, you have to surf, or like my mother, you have to float, but you have to deal with that somehow. So due to that synchronization, I had bought a ticket already to India. India is my favorite place, and I go there every year. And so the idea was that I'll work, I'll travel to India. It was basically just coming from Peru and going to the airport again to travel, and then I'll pay. I'll pay a little late. So everything was in sync. So when he called, I was not prepared to what he said. He said it was postponed, but not only postponed. The thing is, the date, the new date, it was a coincidence with my trip to India. In other words, I'll be in India. I'll be there in India. So it was out of sync. So out of sync was like my mother trying to swim and she didn't know how to swim. But I felt that just for 1 second, and I accept the situation. But I had to make a decision. Either I would lose the ticket to India and get the job, or I would lose my job and go to India. What to do? I don't work much in intuition, but I work with meditation. I prefer. So I connect myself in meditation at that moment. And really, the thought was extremely clear. Go to India. I don't remember exactly my reaction to my thought, but it was probably like, what? I mean, I need the money. I'm a Capricorn, quite pragmatical, quite practical. So there was no logic behind going to travel if you don't have the money to pay for the trip. Come on. But that decision was made in my mind. And so I told my friend I wouldn't go to work. He was okay. He had a big team going. So it was a big team. We are like 10 people going. So one less, it was not a big trouble. And so I went to India. But before going to India, when I meditate, I talk to God. You know, God's my friend. And in fact, I consider him my agent. He gets me my job, you know. And I told him, okay, I'll go to India. But this time I want to know why. Why I'm not going to work there? The job is so good, would be bringing happiness and benefit to so many people. So you must tell me the reason. So I went to India. I forgot a little bit about the situation. I really enjoyed it. It was very good, very good. It was excellent. I came back and I was expecting to talk with my friends, but I didn't. 1 month, maybe 2 months, they didn't call me. So eventually I called one of them, I think the husband, and they told me the story. The thing is, when they made the contract, and it was a governmental entity, you know, it was from the government, and at least here in Latin America, to work with the government is very complicated, extremely complicated. You have to present so many documents. And we are lucky because these are Catholic countries. If it was a Hindu country, so probably they would require us to present documents from other lives too. So it would be so complicated. So it was very complicated, very tough. So they made the contract, and the contract is very rigid. It's a model, so you cannot change. But when they made the contract, they made a mistake, a calculation mistake. So I'll give an example. Let's say I'm going to work for 15 days, and every day I'm going to charge $1,000. So it will be $15,000. But when they made the contract, they said, I'm going to work 15 days for $1,000. So in fact, they were paid just 1 day to cover trips, tickets, plane tickets, took over hotels, took over transportation, took over the the salary of everyone. It was crazy. They really got into certain bankruptcy because of that. I realized at that moment the reason why I didn't go to work in Peru, and instead I went to India. And it was like magic. Of course, I was not happy with what my friends were going through, and they took many years to overcome that. They overcame. They are very well, very standing very well, in fact. But they took many years, so it was not nice that part. But on the other hand, I was amazed with that little magic of a synchronization, because that's the synchronization in the ocean. A wave comes or don't come. The tide is high or low. Um, you may know how to float, but you don't know how to swim, or you just know how to do sand castles and nothing else, or walking on the beach, and that's it. And you have to live in that ocean. You have to take all your sustenance from that ocean, which is called life. So there is one way, and that was my understanding at that moment, and even now, there is one way to deal with the ocean, which take, take it, take and take. I was in the COP now, the COP 16 on biodiversity, which was here in Colombia. And really, our oceans are not empty, but they are quite depleted. Some people say that resources from the oceans is only 2/3 or even less than that. And so it's quite critical. In terms of life, maybe it's the same. My life, maybe your life, we have taken so much from it, so much from it. Attention, money, this and that it's tired. It's kind of, our ocean is a little, it's not moving. There is no energy. Something is missing there, you know. The other way with dealing with the ocean is through your specialties. So I know how to float, so I float. So floating means I'm patient, I'm tolerant, I can wait. Things will come, the wave will come, the money will come. That person who doesn't talk to me anymore, they will talk one day. So that's floating, floating. And it works for some people. Or if you're a swimmer, you are advancing. You are always moving forward. You are always trying to reach an aim. You always have a goal. You always have something to do. The problem with swimming in the ocean, I know Australians know very well, it's quite complicated. I prefer swimming pool, sincerely. I don't like to swim in the ocean. It's quite complicated. Or you are a surfer, which is, I mean, it's another thing. And the surfer, they go and they overcome, but sometimes there are no waves. What to do then? And the third way to deal with that ocean, and that was my understanding, is to go beyond the ocean and to connect to a supreme source of energy, and to let that source guide you, to let that source point you to the right direction. It will be probably illogical, crazy, but at the end, it will work very well. And those 2 years that I went through that bad patch and really was really horrible. It was so nice. I was so creative. I was able to start 2 or 3 new books. I couldn't finish, sorry. But I was able to become a coach, so that I finished. I was able to start many things in internet, and I was able to have that realization that life is like an ocean. So you may go through your specialties. That's probably the best thing, better than just let the ocean drag you or drown you. But best thing is try it. Try to connect to the source and try to get that energy. Try to get that direction. And it won't be, again, it won't be a direct, straight direction. It won't be a WhatsApp, with clear instructions. But it will be a sense of an accomplishment, a sense of success. Especially, I understand I had success from a failure. And that's probably the best success you can get when you really understand what you went through. So I hope that story resonates with you. I hope you can take out some benefit from it.
Yes, absolutely. So it's so beautiful to like visualize the ocean, as you say. Like, there are many things coming and we are uh, crossing it and still enjoying the journey. And the beautiful story you shared, that it seemed like magic and a miracle, that something that logically didn't seem right, but turned out to be the best for you. Could I ask, some people believe that it's
Mm.
just luck, maybe. It could
Mm.
have been either ways. What is your interpretation about luck? Like, is there anything like that, or what
Mm.
is it?
Well, there is a very important person, and I respect his thoughts and his. I mean, he's excellent. I think he's the only psychiatrist who got a Nobel Prize in economy. I mean, that's crazy, and that's in itself a huge achievement. And he believes in luck. He believes in luck. And in another branch, little branch of science, they say that luck means preparation and situations. So that means when you are prepared for that situation, that means you are lucky. But in my case, I really have worked that, and I have many stories like that. Um, and why we realized it was not luck, you know, because I didn't get success. I didn't get my money, for instance. If I was lucky, I'd get my money. Okay, I didn't get. Um, but I got the wisdom. And that wisdom helped me to make better choices in the future, to catch the signs of life and whatever life is telling me about that. And and understand that again, you are in the ocean. So you have to live with that reality. And maybe some people will think about the sharks all over, but you can think about all the beauty and all the energy, all the greatness of that ocean. So I do believe in luck in a way. As a spiritual person, I call it karma. I give it another different name, but I do believe in luck in some way. But I think in my case, it's something anyone can get. Anyone would have access to that. So if you have to make a tough decision, a really tough decision, get out of the ocean, get out of your life a little bit, and just go to that supreme source and let that energy touch your mind, touch your decision process, and help you to make a better decision.
Hmm. Sounds very interesting. Uh, it's like, if there's any problem or anything I'm not sure of, it seems like there is a source whom I can connect with and, get answers to, or seek guidance from. Is there a process that anyone who maybe is a just starting meditation or does not meditate also can try? Like, what are the first few steps in order to kind of get that connection going, stepping out of the ocean and, you know?
Probably 5 steps. The first step is do not blame, do not feel guilty. Remove a little bit the emotion that I did something wrong. Oh, how did I buy the ticket without checking first? So get rid of that. There are many ways, many different reasons, but get rid of that. Second, try to not to just flow with life a little bit. Try to see that as just a scene in life. Yes, it happened. So what? I mean, it happened. Let's move on. Let's just move on. The third thing is meditate. Or if you don't like to meditate, you can just reflect. You just, for instance, you can journal, you can write, or you can record a video, okay, of yourself sharing that experience. That's extremely helpful. Okay. If you meditate, like my case, or follow the branch of meditation, you talk to yourself, you calm down, just understand you are in this ocean, this happened, it is a reality, it is there. Now let me make a decision. The fourth thing is to talk to the supreme source. And I know many meditators, they have as their supreme source, the universe. That's fine. So talk to that supreme source. I have God. So talk to them. Try to not be selfish, not in the bad sense, but try to not think about yourself too much. Just talk, just like a little boy, you know. Hi, mom, my sand castle, the ocean came and took over. So just talk internally in your mind. And the fifth thing, the decision will come in your mind. Take that decision like a pearl, like a pearl coming from the depths of the ocean. Just take that decision, just pick it up as if it's something valuable, because it is. And just embrace that decision and move on.
Wonderful. That seems like a very, good recipe to apply for any problem we may face. We'll surely try that. Thank you for that, Marcelo. And maybe one last question. How important is it to believe in the decision? Like it's
Mhm.
you've reached to a point where, you're uh, okay, I'll go with this choice. Then how important is it to believe in it?
Well, we could approach the topic of self-confidence or faith in different ways. I prefer to think that if you make a decision that you are not sure about it, um, well, you are not believing yourself. So even so things go well, you are going always to be suspicious about your own self. And that's not good, you know. It happens quite a lot in the world today. So many leaders in the world, that's a reality, they are making very bad decisions. And people, they don't believe in those decisions. And so they lose their position, they lose the force, they lose their strength. In fact, very recently, something happened near Australia there, and that was one of the conclusions. Someone was analyzing, was saying the worst was that the government lost the faith of the people because of the decision. So the same thing can happen to me, you know. But sometimes there will be doubts. Doubts are not that bad, you know, they are quite normal. The thing is how to treat the doubts. So I normally, what I do when I have some doubts about something is one thing that's very easy. You can just talk to other people, create a team, and along with other people, let's solve this. Another thing you can do is to sit with God in meditation or with the universe and discuss that, and try to clarify that doubt. Because really, when you are in the ocean, stuff happens there, and all of a sudden, I remember my mother used to be very concerned with me to go to the ocean in the evenings because the waves were higher. She used to be very concerned about me. But one day I was able to sneak out and go. And I remember they were huge for my size, of course. They were not that high, The people who took me there, in fact, I remember they were very tall, so there was no problem. Um, but I just flow with them, I just learn to flow with it. So sometimes doubts are like waves and just flow with them a little bit. But try that. Talk to God, talk to your team, think about it, and things will happen. Don't fear, don't doubt your doubts. Just accept that that's part of reality. I'm not perfect, so it's quite possible that my decision is not the best one. So let's talk together and let's see how to solve it.
Beautiful. Thank you. So, not to doubt our doubts. That's a good line to remember. Thank you very much, Marcelo. And if to conclude, you have been meditating for such a long time. So, can we request you to give our viewers also an experience of meditation? If you could lead us into it by speaking a commentary, that would be lovely.
Yes, of course. Yeah. That'd be
Thank you
nice
so
too.
much.
So you can sit down however you want, however you are used to. If you meditate already, so you have your own way. The meditation, I do it in a different type. I do it with open eyes. It's a kind of different, but just do whatever you feel it's comfortable for you, and just relax. Just enjoy this moment, this time. Just feel like I am floating in the ocean. Beautiful, huge, immense ocean. And this ocean, the name is life. Just life. Sometimes tide is high, sometimes the waves are, are quite challenging. But at this right moment, just experience the calmness of the ocean. That sense of plenitude, of fullness that the ocean gives naturally. Just feel it. And just think about yourself as different from the ocean, different from life itself. Because you are the seed of that life. You are the first drop of that huge ocean. And the drop is so small. So think of yourself as a point, a drop. And experience that even so you are just a drop, You are full, complete. And everything that happens in life came from that drop, from yourself, from myself. I accept it, I embrace it, I love it. The ocean is not challenging, it's not difficult. It came from me. So if I want to change something in the ocean, maybe I can change something in myself, in the drop I am. Maybe more peace, more love, more patience. So when I add those qualities to the self, the ocean also changes. So next time a big wave comes, next time you see a shark in the horizon of your life, just remember you are the drop. Just remember it's your life, my life. I'm the creator. And just add the qualities that for some reason are missing. I am that point of light. And don't forget, when things get complicated, don't forget to even go beyond the ocean, beyond the drop you are. Go to the universe, to that supreme source of energy, and just take the device, power, love, peace. And with those two things, you feel life. You feel your ocean as a place of opportunities, of greatness and wonders. So I can breathe deeply. And slowly I can come back from that meditation. Thank you. Gratitude.
Thank you very, very much. So it seems like we just took a dip into the ocean and we've come back refreshed. So thank you for that beautiful experience and also for sharing the wisdom that you have received in your life. I'm sure our viewers have benefited from listening to the story. Thank you for joining us. And if you would like to know more about us, please do visit our website, www.brahmakumaris.org.au. All the centers and retreat centers and all the programs that are held is all listed on the website, and you're welcome to visit us. So thank you once again for joining, and we will be back with another interesting episode in the Reflection series. Thank you, and keep flowing, keep swimming, and cross everything, cross the ocean, and be successful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brother Marcelo.
Thank you.